Good morning. It is Friday, December the 16th, 2022. And of course, all my options expired today, which is good. It's going to set me up for a payday on Monday. The market is beginning just now to begin to price in a recession, and it hasn't bottomed out yet. My only concern is not the stability of HanesBrands International, but whether or not it becomes a takeover target. It's getting so cheap. There's got to be somebody out there licking their chops who would love to acquire a brand that has taken decades and decades and decades to build. And if that happens, the price of the stock is going to maybe double quickly. And of course, that's the worst thing that can happen to me. But aside from that, I'm pretty happy with watching it hover around $6, which is, I think, pretty close to the book value of the stock. Anyway, be that as it may, we're into the Friday where people who are going to exercise are going to need to. If not, the broker, following the in the money, out of the money rules, will exercise or not the remaining contracts. So very likely I'm going to get a lot of HBI stock put on me at 650. Remember, and this is the part of what I do that's so difficult to comprehend. It's not necessarily what I paid for it or what I sold it for, but what it's going to cost me to replace it. And that's pure retail thinking. And having been brought up in a retail company, which for decades supported 5 families, I know that to be true. I try to vary my background pictures based on a huge collection of photos. In the background, that was shot in Towns County, Georgia. There's 159 counties in Georgia, Towns County being the smallest because, I don't know, 50% of the county is U.S. Forestry Service land, which is what we're on in that picture. We had a nice gun club up there. The locals who grew up in that area knew you got to shoot because decades and decades ago, if they didn't gather up some game, they didn't have anything to eat, or at least no meat to eat. Here's a picture of my youngest son with a British Enfield 303 rifle. He went on to join the Army years later and was a driver of an Abrams A1 tank and spent 15 months in Iraq with that duty. So at any rate, at least I knew he could shoot. So I'll be watching today with great interest. I really think that the whole market has been shorted heavily. Any little piece of good news could kick the market prices up pretty much. But we'll see. The beauty part about selling covered stock option contracts is I don't have to time the market. That will be reflected in the very process of the transaction set. Now, the only negative to report over the last month or so is I've had almost no contracts not exercised. And I do a lot better if I have at least 30% of them are not exercised. That just pads the margin for me. But at any rate, I'm just going to keep on keeping on. All right, let's watch the market.